Bishop c5 attacks the f2 pawn and helps control the important d4. d3 allows the dark, one of the best moves. This threatens to kick a bishop, developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. Castling kingside tends to be safer than queenside. The bishop is ready to be developed to an active square. Advancing the pawns in front of the king can... There were worse moves, but also something much better. Developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. A very strong play. The bishop is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. A solid choice. This offers an equal trade of pieces. That's fine. This is not the right idea. The best option was to develop a bishop and attack the center. After all captures, this is an equal trade. A straightforward recapture. This blocks an attack on a pawn. This moves the bishop to safety. This threatens to win a pawn by overloading a defender. This permits the opponent to eventually win a pawn. This is the way to win a pawn. White combines recapturing with the development of it. This forces the opponent a clear recapture. That pawn was free for the taking. This attacks a bishop. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. The better move was to force doubling of pawns. Black activates the last piece, bringing all pieces into play. Right on target. This is an equal trade. A straightforward recapture. This attacks White's pawn chain. These doubled pawns are very weak, a clear recapture. This gives away a free pawn. That was a free pawn. The pawn is now adequately defended. The rooks are coordinated and powerful. The bishop finds a new active square. Taking that pawn will win. A straightforward recapture. Takes back. This activates, takes back. This activates the king in the endgame by getting it off of one of the best moves. The bishop finds a new active square. Very precise. This evades the check from the rook. Pushing a passed pawn. This is the strongest option. This immobilizes the bishop by pinning it to the king. Right on target. The correct move to safety. That X-ray attack will win material for black. This evades the check from the rook. Very precise. This is a straightforward recapture. White's bishop has moved to a square with greater activity, a very strong play. A solid choice. That pawn was free for the taking. This evades the check from the rook. The clearly correct move for a threatened rook. This moves the bishop to a better location, allowing it to control. That was a free pawn. One of the best moves. Pushing a passed pawn. A very strong play. This defends the attacked pawn. A solid choice. This defends the attacked pawn. A solid choice. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. One of the best moves. Pushing a passed pawn. This moves the bishop. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This avoids clear danger. Right on target. This continues down the road to checkmate. This is the way to win a bishop. This steps away from the checking pawn. This is still on the road to checkmate. That rook was free for the taking. This continues the checkmate threat. That pawn was free for the taking. This continues down the road to checkmate. This allows the opponent to... This wins, but this steps away from the checking queen. This is still on the road to checkmate. This was the only move. This continues the checkmate threat. This was the only move. This continues the checkmate threat. This was the only move. This is still on the road to checkmate. This was the only move. This continues down the road to checkmate. This was the only move. This continues the checkmate threat. This was the only move. This is still on the road to checkmate. This evades the check from the... This continues the checkmate threat. This was the only move. This is still on the road to check... This was the only move. This continues the checkmate threat. This steps away from the checking. This continues down the road to checkmate. This evades the check from the rook, and the game is over.